Hello and welcome to another Mixed Media Monday. I'm Eric Scott, and of course, I'm here just to bring something else to you. Another Monday, another Mixed Media little piece that I'm going to work on today. I'm not really sure what I want to do today, so I've been experimenting with some different things here lately. So maybe that will pop up. I pulled out some different materials, some different collage materials, some paint, and we'll see what we get into. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So I've got my little 4x4 inch piece of paper, back to working with little small papers. I got some paint. I've got some collage materials over here. I don't know if I'm going to use them or not. So I think I want to start out. Let me go ahead and move this out of the way for now. I think I'm going to start off with this pen. This is a pen that I've used before. This is a pocket brush pen by Pentel. And I've been really digging the brush strokes. So I think I just want to kind of play around with it a little bit. Put in some lines. The nice thing about this pen is that I can get some really thick lines if I double up. And then I can get some really thin lines if I barely touch. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Just playing around, trying to experiment. I kind of feel like I'm at this point where I want to try to break out from how I normally do things. So try to push myself out of my comfort zone. I want this ink to be totally dry, so I am gonna hit it up with the hair dryer. Okay, so this ink is pretty permanent. I think I'll go ahead and add some paint. So just kind of layer stuff up, see what happens. So adding this magenta color with these shapes, I think I'm just going to leave it at 3. You know, that odd number at 3. That's one of my favorite numbers to use. It creates a triangle amongst the 3. Just kind of helps create a interesting composition. All right, let's go ahead and hit that up with the hair dryer. Okay. I've been really enjoying a combination of this kind of pink with some turquoise. So I've got a turquoise here. So I think I'll just go ahead and keep playing around with it. So I'm just spreading these little rounded dashes. They're kind of like pill shapes. And the brush I'm using is called a filbert, so it has that kind of rounded tip to it. So it allows me to get some nice rounded ends on the shapes. I'm gonna try something a little different. I'm gonna get a little bit of that turquoise, and I think I'll go ahead and just splatter a little bit, see what happens with that. All right, let's go ahead and dry that. And I think I'll hit it up with some of this yellow. Maybe just try some random brush strokes with the yellow. Because I'm using the Derwent Inktense paints, it doesn't pick up as much. It picked up a little bit of the turquoise in there, but if I was doing this with regular watercolor, it would have a tendency to lift up some of the paint that is already down. But the Derwent doesn't quite do that. Okay, that's looking pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and hit that with the hair dryer. Okay. Just kind of debating if I wanted to use any of this collage. All it is painted paper. I've got this kind of blue-green. I don't know. Let me just see. Let me go ahead and I gotta find my scissors. Maybe just cut off a little bit. So this was just painted paper that I'd painted quite a while ago now. And it's just on drawing paper. So that way the paper is not super thick, makes it a little bit easier to glue down. It's like I don't know if I like those shapes. And then the blues and such that I use in it kind of tie in with the turquoise. I almost feel like these are tree branches, so I almost feel like I want to make these more of kind of leaf-like shapes. I think I like that a little bit better. Yeah, I like that the sharp points really help kind of add a little bit of contrast. Oops. Get away from me there. Okay, think I kind of like that. Let's go ahead and get those glued down. Get my glue paper here. Just gonna let it stick off the sides for now, and then I can trim it in a few minutes. So this definitely starts to take on a more representational feel. You know, we have that, excuse me, we have that feeling of leaves and maybe tree branches. Okay. Go ahead and trim these off. Glue is still a little sticky. Okay. The leaves get a little bit lost, so I'm going to try something. Let me grab a pen. So I've got this this dark blue pen. This is a Faber-Castell Pitt artist pen, and it's a Indanthrene blue. Indanthrene blue. I just call it dark blue. um, Let me see. I'm just wondering if I sort of outlined it, went around the actual kind of leaf-like shape, maybe. You know, just yeah, I kind of like that. Just makes it pop out a little bit. So it's not quite as dark as the black. But yeah, it just gives it a little bit of detail and just creates a little bit of an outline. Eliza, Eliza, Eliza. Eliza, good. Yeah, stay in here then. You guys stop me home. So I do like that kind of mix between the abstract, the lines and the shapes, and the representational part. It's a good contrast. Looking at this down here is just a little empty. I like how this kind of flows across, but I think I want to have like maybe one more. Let's see, let's go ahead. Maybe this one can be fairly large. Don't know. That's the thing. It's like kind of feel like it might be a little too big. And I'm trying to imagine like with the tip of it cut off. But I like how it breaks that space up. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead. Grab my glue paper, grab my glue. One thing I do have to be careful with whenever I'm outlining like this is the glue. So if I had a lot of glue stick on there and it squeezed out, it could get in the tip of the pen and kind of cause some troubles. Trim that off. Just kind of looking, maybe got this cobalt green. I'm just kind of wondering if I want to put in some other leaf-like shapes, kind of like almost in the background. Actually, I'm kind of thinking it might be interesting to go over top of some of these too. And we just have this play of the more abstract stuff against the more representational. I kind of like that. So, I mean, these shapes are, they're kind of leaf-like, but they're simplified and they overlap some of the other things. So it really brings in more of an abstract nature. It's definitely not naturalistic. But I kind of like that. I like how it overlaps. Yeah, I'm really liking it. I don't want to do too much to it though, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and call this done, and I'll go ahead and sign it. So just something a little bit different, but yeah, I kind of like it. Might be interesting to kind of look at this and kind of use it as a basis to create some things in the future. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed another Mixed Media Monday. I love that idea of experimenting. I love just trying to sit down and playing around, and the small pieces are really great for that because the small paper it doesn't feel so precious. If I had done that on a really large canvas and it didn't work out, then I could have felt like I spent a lot of time and a lot of effort working on something just to kind of not have it work out. Whereas whenever I'm working small, it's not as precious. It's a small paper, it doesn't take that long, and I can, if I mess up or if I don't like it, then not a big deal. I didn't waste a lot of materials. I didn't waste a lot of time. But anyway, so just another idea, another quick little thing. Just experimenting and building up layers and just seeing where things go and trying things. These things pop in my head. I'm like, oh, let me try this, let me try that, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. So anyway, this one I think kind of worked out pretty well, and kind of interested to see if it goes anywhere from here. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in once again. And if you have any comments, any questions, please make sure that you pop them in the comments. And if you like what you're seeing and you haven't subscribed, make sure that you click the subscribe button. And if you really like it and you want to share it with your friends, please do so. So anyway, thank you so much. And as always, happy creating.